The number one food that increases blood pressure more than any other food is salt. More specifically, sodium chloride. And I realize that many of you don't put salt or add salt to your food. But if you only could imagine how much hidden salt is in frozen foods, canned foods, and particularly those foods when you eat out in those restaurants. And you say, oh my goodness, why am I bloated? Why am I distended? Why am I gaining weight? I'm trying to eat well, but I keep gaining weight. That sodium will draw in water. But hold on, I'm going to be very specific. I'm going to review the physiology a little bit more comprehensively. You're going to find this quite interesting because I want you to understand the real reason why sodium, particularly salt, increases your blood pressure. And at the end of this video, I know you're going to appreciate it. And when we consume excessive sodium, it can have a direct impact on our blood vessels. Sodium attracts water, so an increase in sodium levels leads to water retention in the bloodstream. This increased blood volume puts additional pressure on the blood vessel walls, causing them to stretch and become less elastic. As a result, the blood vessels lose their ability to expand and contract efficiently, leading to an increased resistance to blood flow and elevated blood pressure. High sodium levels can impair the function of our endothelium. That's the inner layer of our blood vessels. And the endothelium produces a substance like nitric oxide, which helps regulate blood vessel tone. And excessive sodium disrupts the production of nitric oxide inside the blood vessels. The purpose of nitric oxide is to expand, to allow the blood vessels to open up, allowing less resistance and the heart to work easier as blood pressure will go down. But when that nitric oxide is not being released because of excess sodium, the blood vessels constrict, they become tighter with more resistance, more pressure, more work on the heart, as that heart has to pump harder, increasing blood pressure, causing more potential damage inside the blood vessels. And the kidneys play a pivotal role in regulating sodium balance in the body. When sodium levels are high, the kidneys work to excrete the excess sodium through the urine. However, when we consume excessive amounts of sodium on a regular basis, the kidneys may struggle to eliminate it efficiently. This leads to sodium accumulation in the bloodstream, resulting in increased blood volume and elevated blood pressure. And to maintain sodium balance, the kidneys rely on the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, which is called RAAS. When sodium levels are low, the kidneys release an enzyme called renin, and renin triggers a cascade of events that ultimately leads to the production of angiotensin II. Angiotensin II is a potent vasoconstrictor that narrows the blood vessels, increasing blood pressure. And the adrenal glands, which are located on top of the kidneys, releases a hormone aldosterone in response to high sodium levels. And aldosterone acts on the kidneys to promote the reabsorption of sodium and the excretion of potassium. This process increases the total volume of fluid in the body as water follows sodium, leading to an increased blood volume and subsequently elevated blood pressure. And excessive sodium intake has a direct effect on the heart. The increased blood volume due to sodium retention puts added strain on the heart, requiring it to pump harder to circulate the larger volume of blood. Over time, this increased workload can lead to a thickening of the heart muscle, particularly left ventricular hypertrophy, and can contribute to the development of cardiovascular diseases such as heart failure. And high blood pressure resulting from excessive sodium intake can have detrimental effects on the brain and nervous system. The increased pressure on the blood vessels can damage the delicate blood vessels in the brain, leading to an increased risk of stroke. And there's no doubt that excessive sodium will elevate your blood pressure in everyone. Although I don't want to scare everyone because it doesn't apply to everyone. But for the vast majority of people, it can potentially cause serious injuries, serious problems. Because high blood pressure will affect your brain, your heart, your blood vessels, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your eyes, as well as other tissues and glands. So I just want you to be safe instead of sorry. Remember, exercise is so important, as well as a healthy diet, getting your sleep, as well as drinking lots of water. Why? Because when you're distended, when you're bloated, Don't think that if you drink water, you're going to become more bloated. It's going to help the kidneys excrete it. It's going to work like a diuretic. Drink the water because excessive water will get rid of sodium, bring it down, lower your blood pressure, and make you feel a lot better. But just watch out for the hidden foods with sodium. Be aware that if you're going to add some salt, I like Himalayan salt, sea salt. Stay away from that processed refined salts. Just be aware. That's what this video is all about. So now you understand about how sodium directly affects higher blood pressure. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please share it with your friends and family. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell.